Morning, YouTube. How you guys doing? I got another quick cob modding tip video for you. Don't inhale pipe tobacco through your stem. Smoking out of my Chris Morgan nose warmer with one of my Racing Stripe stems, but I'll set that down. My tip is not for today. Sorry, having a little trouble talking. Was going to be about finishes and cob finishes, specifically high gloss finishes. Some of it's going to cover kind of what I do, which I did in the cob building video, but some of these are going to be I've talked about before, but sometimes it's something I want to add to, or things I missed I didn't cover, or they might be along the lines of something that I have changed, because it kind of evolves some of the stuff. But anyways, what I'm talking about is high gloss finishes. Like I got two different pipes here. I got one here, you can kind of catch the gloss on it, and then I got one that's just the normal finish, but I don't know if that's going to pick up, but it's kind of glossy. So the question becomes, well, how many coats did I use to get that to be like mirrorish or really glossy? And the answer is one. One coat. And what I use is shellac. I use the clear stuff. It does come in amber too, which might give something an interesting tint if you wanted to go that route. So how do we achieve that? Well, like anything, either woodworking or even working on cars, if you're doing body work, the smoother a surface is before you apply a finish on it, the smoother it's going to be once the finish is on. So, I know I've covered this before, but these are these little drum sanders, and I believe this is a 1/2 inch one. 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 inch, I'm not sure. I don't remember, I should have looked. But what I do is I use this, and I'll actually, you have to loosen this nut. You loosen the nut up and you fit it into the cob, and it'll go down about halfway. You tighten that back up, and that pulls that washer up and squeezes it, just like you would have sandpaper on there, which they're made for. And with the stem out, obviously, well then, with that stuck on there, you can spin this around on your drill press. And I would think this would probably work if you have a normal drill or screw gun, some people call it. And then you can just go through, I usually start at about 220. If I'm doing something like a dye job, because I want to get the old finish off. Something like this, actually, I didn't put any finish on this one. This is just the stock finish, just buffed out, or whatever you want to call it. I usually start around 220 if I'm doing a color job, and then I work my way down. And a lot of people, when they do it, they stop around 220-ish, maybe 3 something. I actually will go all the way down to, I go through the grits, like, so, I'm at 220, then 3, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 1,000. And then I'll put a finish on it, something like this. And that'll really give it a mirror finish. And then you only need one coat. So you're not layering a bunch of coats of finish on there. Otherwise, the only other way to do that is to sand it down a little bit. And then do a coat, sand, and then you're going to really build up layers, which will give you, ultimately, in the end result, you'll get a nice shine to it. And then even after you let that cure, probably overnight, because it'll set up fast and shellac dries fast, but it does need time to fully cure. Then if you guys do any stem work, you can actually use some of those buffing pads, and it'll really, really, really shine it up. And I think I showed that in my how-to cob mod series. So yeah, you'll end up with something like this. So like I said, both of these only have one coat on them. This one would be the stock coat from the factory. And so just taking that time to sand will really save you a lot of time as far as doing coats of finish. Like I said, these are only a couple bucks. Maybe more than a couple bucks. 3 something, 4 something at your local Ace Hardware. Like I said, you should be able to kind of do that in a hand drill, put it in there, and then use sandpaper on your freehand. So that's how I do that. And realistically, even this, if you don't even want to go this smooth, because at some point you are going to hit a point of diminishing returns where I will leave some of the pits in there every now and then. There's one, you can kind of see one there. And then sometimes on the tops, I'll leave the where it kind of just because it is a cob, and that's part of the charm. So that is how to do that. If anybody was wondering, it'll save you a lot of finish. If you can spin them, it does not take that long actually just to go through the grits real fast if you're not doing a lot of shaping. If you're just sanding them down, it's relatively quick, you know, just 220, 3, whatever, 320, 350, whatever it is, 400, 600, 800, 1,000 if you want to go that far, and boom, you're done. And actually, if you get down to 1,000, it actually look really smooth and kind of cool already. So there you go, guys. There's a little tip for you if you actually want to do a more of a glossy kind of mirror finish. What you notice on these, how that gloss line goes straight across and it's not real orange peely. But yeah, that's the way to do it with just using one coat of finish. All right, guys, have a good day.